Well, I don't make any bones about Goodbye. It was always my favorite Rude Awakening song that we did.
It's probably one of the oldest songs that was in the Rude Awakening song list.
Goodbye was one of those songs that Jim brought to the band. It was one he had written when he was in another band before Rude Awakening. The band was called Oslo, I think a reference to the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, if I may be so literate.
The origin of Goodbye goes all the way back to around 1984 in Athens, Texas. I was in a band called Oslo, and I was in junior at the time, so started out pretty young, and Sterling Smith and Clayton George and I wrote a song in Oslo, and that was the origin of Goodbye. And it wasn't great lyrics, but the melody was always good and the music was good. Well, when I left Oslo and moved to Mount Pleasant in '85, I guess we were starting to write songs and bringing songs in and whatnot. And I thought of the idea about rewriting the lyrics to the original song. Had a good music, good melody. It had some good lyrics. Like the chorus lyrics were good. It was that we still used "I can't see your love for me." That was a line that was in the original, which made it through, and maybe a couple of others, but for the most part, I scrapped the original lyrics in early '86, rewrote it with new lyrics, and it became Goodbye.
He and some of the guys in that band were kicking the idea or some of the parts of the song around, and then
We love the melody of that song, but I think originally it was called Mom's Song. And
it just a song kind of dedicated to our mothers. Very much a sort of a country and western theme idea that you would have, writing a song about mama and trains and Ford trucks and prison and whatever. And it was very indicative of how old we were at the time. It wasn't cool by any stretch of the imagination. But what was cool about it was the music and the melody.
Being a teenage kid, you probably, like most of us, you would have made fun of that title, but we knew the song was strong and the melody was very strong, and so it ended up being called Goodbye later on. But
I still remember the first day that Jim played it for me on his parents' piano in their living room. And it was a song that he had brought over from a previous group that he had been in. But he changed some words and changed some things around. I didn't know that at the time. But it is. It's my favorite one. And, it's another song we never played live. I guess it's because of the fact that Jim was the only piano player and he had to play drums. So, love the song.
Supportive. Oh, this is a good song. Jeffrey especially loved the song. Always had. Loved it then. And then, this is like his favorite song on the new album. And so he always liked it, enjoyed singing it. And that was sort of the evolution from the original song in Oslo and how it got into Rude Awakening.
Of course, when we're doing songs as a band in Rude Awakening, it came up and we kind of took it and remodeled it a little bit, added some pieces to it, some different orchestration. It kind of became our power ballad.
Steve did a lot in arranging that song originally when we were bringing it in. Steve had an idea. We were all big Stryper fans, and Stryper's really good at dual guitars, dual leads, kind of like Boston on steroids. Just really intricate arrangements using guitars, almost like you'd use a violin. And Steve had come up with a very interesting dual solo and some other fills, and he and Jeff had worked that up as a group. So when we played it live, it was always interesting. Jeffrey would actually go to the piano and play the piano part, and then Steve and Jeff would do the dual leads. Unfortunately, we didn't have a bass player when Jeffrey went to the piano, and so it was always felt like to me a little bit too much high end. We needed some bass to balance the dual guitars, but it was it really became a group effort in the final arrangement of the song Goodbye. And on the album, we tried to recapture that. So when you listen to Goodbye, you will hear the sort of the big production and the dual leads, and Jeffrey doing the really soulful part at the end after the solo with the singing, and that was what we were doing at the time. But I still think you can strip it all down to its original form, and it's still just a good song with just a piano and a vocalist. It's got a very simple set of lyrics and a really memorable melody, and it's just a solid song, especially one that, you know, started when I was like 13 years old, and we worked it up in the band when I was 15 or 16. So it's an older song, but I think it holds up, you know, to any song of the day, and even today it's still a solid ballad.
Actually, we did play that song live. I just remembered. We played it at the Titus County Fair, and I actually played the piano. And so, yeah, we did. My bad.
You know, a very strong vocal song, a lot of harmonies in it, a lot of orchestration. One song that we put quite a bit of work into.